He was a trucker who made one small mistake.
He stopped. Strange, funny trucking stories, all in one universe. At Load Runner Diesel. Follow and stick around.
Mark was running nights across northern Arizona when a detour pushed him off the interstate. It dropped him onto an older stretch of road, one of those highways that used to matter. About 10 minutes in, his GPS went blank. Not rerouting, not frozen, just off.
The road flattened out and the lane markings faded. Old signage started appearing. Reflectors that hadn't been replaced in years. Then the town came up. It wasn't big. A trading post, a diner, a motel set back from the road. Every light was on. Streetlights, neon signs, windows glowing. There were no cars, not parked, not moving. None at all. No tire tracks in the dust. No fresh footprints. Mark slowed, expecting cones or barricades to explain the detour. There were none. The buildings didn't look abandoned. Paint wasn't peeling. Windows weren't broken. Near the road stood two tall arrow-shaped signs lit from below. He pulled into the lot and stopped. He stayed in the cab. The gas pumps were on. Digital screens glowing. No bags over the handles. No out-of-order signs. The price board was lit. The numbers were lower than anything he'd seen in years.
Mark reached for his phone. No signal. He turned on the CB. At first, just static. Then a voice came through. Calm. Clear. "You don't want to stop there." Mark said, his hand tightened on the wheel before he realized it had. He grabbed the mic and asked who it was. No response. The channel went dead again. Mark looked toward the diner. One window was lit. Inside, booths sat empty. Coffee cups were still on the tables, half full. A pot sat on the warmer behind the counter. The red light was on. No steam, no movement. Chairs near the window were pushed back slightly, like people had stood up and never come back.
That's when Mark noticed how quiet the place really was. No wind moving the flags, no insects around the lights, no hum from the power lines. It felt sealed off, like the rest of the world wasn't connected to it anymore. That's when Mark noticed someone near the diner entrance. A woman was standing under the light. She hadn't been there when he pulled in. At least he didn't think she had. She wasn't waving, wasn't asking for help. She was facing the truck. Mark couldn't see her face clearly. The light behind her was too bright, but he could tell she was watching him. He said it didn't feel like fear, more like the moment your body reacts before your mind does. Mark stayed still, hands on the wheel. After a few seconds, the woman lifted one hand. Not a wave. She placed it flat against the diner window behind her, just stood there, palm against the glass. Then she slowly turned her head away from the truck, like she was listening to something inside. Mark glanced down at the dash, only for a second. When he looked back up, she was gone.
The handprint was still there on the glass, fogged over, clear where her fingers had been. Then the CB crackled again, same voice. "She's not for you." Mark didn't reach for the mic, because at the same time, the diner door unlocked. He heard it. The click carried across the lot. The handle moved. The door opened, but no one stepped out. The interior light spilled onto the pavement. Mark said that's when the feeling changed. Not curiosity, not confusion, urgency. He dropped the truck into gear, didn't shut it down, didn't check mirrors. He pulled out hard and got back on the road. In his mirrors, the diner lights went out all at once.
Not flickering, not one by one. All of them. The moment the town disappeared behind him, the GPS powered back on. The radio followed. Cell signal returned. Mark didn't slow down. He didn't stop for another hour. The next day, he looked the place up. The town had a name, Twin Arrows. A place that used to be busy, and isn't anymore. Mark still runs nights, but he doesn't take detours onto old roads like that anymore.